Hey guys, welcome to JazzedTutorials, and today I'll be showing you a very cool rainbow smoke effect. Now, I do post a lot of stuff that includes rainbow type colors on this channel, but it's because the rainbow colors just make everything look more awesome in my opinion, so that's why I chose those colors. And you'll see why I call it a rainbow smoke effect momentarily. So yeah, for this tutorial, you're going to want to use a photo that has a very dark background. I would not suggest using a bright background photo because the effect that you'll see at the end won't show through as good as it would if it was a darker background. You'll understand why towards the end of this video. So choose a photo similar to mine that has a black background, a very dark gray background, just something very dark and grungy, I guess we could say. So this is why I've chosen this photo here, and it happened to also be on my hard drive, so I figured why the heck not? And the effect looks pretty awesome at the end. So let's get right to this tutorial, and I will explain step by step how I get the final outcome. Alright, we're going to be adding 3 adjustment layers on top of this. We're going to start with a brightness and contrast. And the reason why I'm doing brightness and contrast and the further effects is just so I can brighten out her face and her skin and darken the background a bit. These settings might be different for you, but I'll of course just show you what I've chosen for my numbers, and you can go with that or you can choose your own. It's totally up to you. So brightness is 18 and contrast is 24. And then above that, I've chosen the exposure adjustment layer, and these are my settings here for that, but also, yet again, you can change this up if you need to. Right, and our third and last one for this step is going to be a levels adjustment layer. And I'm doing this just because, as you'll notice, it brightens out her face and her skin, but then darkens out the background, and I do love that. So that's my numbers there for that, but like I've said before and previously, you can always change that up. Alright, then going back to our main layer, mine's a layer 0, yours might be say background, I don't know, but going back to your main image, duplicate that image and paste it and bring it on top here above every single one of those 3 adjustment layers. This is going to be a Gaussian blur layer, and the only reason why I'm using a Gaussian blur here is because I want to make it a nice subtle focal focus effect. So go over here to filter, click blur. My Gaussian blur settings is 8.0, so go with that. And then you're going to drop the opacity on that layer to 25%. That way it's not too overbearing, but it also shows a nice soft focus effect. Right? Yeah, look how cool that looks. Okay. Now is where the fun begins. We're going to now start adding our smoke. Now, the smoke that we're adding obviously is a brush set. I will provide the brush set in the description box below because it's an obvious need for this tutorial. But if you have other smoke brushes that you'd like to use as well, go for it. I don't mind. But for those that want to use the same brush set I have, it'll be linked below. So it's a three brush sets. It comes with a 4th one here, but I don't quite know what that's for. The only 3 I've used out of this set are these 3 here. And these are actually scattered brushes here. So you'll notice that when I go on my new layer and make the brush, it just makes different ones. Now, you're going to want to choose white for your brush color because in the final effect, it'll make it show more. So yeah, take any one of these 3 and just start brushing on random brushes. One of them is bigger than the other 2, but whatevers. So I've already got that layer made, and I'll show you what that looks like. This is mine right here. Now, what I've done here to really make it look nice is I took a soft round eraser brush and I erased the edges of the smoke effect so that it blended in really nicely and stuff, but again, that's an option for you to do if you want to. You don't have to, but I did because it looks nice. Alright, then above that, this next layer that I have here is optional, but for this particular photo, I thought it was nice, but you don't have to do this. I just took a random brush that I had and put it in the background here. Now, I used a soft round eraser brush, obviously, to brush it off of her face, her skin, and everything, so that it was just in the background of this photo. But you don't have to do that. If you have a random brush you want to use, that's fine. Do it. I don't care. But if you don't want to do this step, that's fine. It's optional. And this layer with the background is set to soft light, just in case you're wondering. And then for the last and final step to bring us all together and make it all rainbowy and sweet and awesome, we're going to add a gradient fill layer. This is a adjustment layer because it just needs to be. So go over here to adjustment layers, select gradient over here at the top. Now some might say, well, why don't add a gradient map? Gradient maps and gradient fills are two different things. I get that question sometimes in my inbox, and guys, it's not the same thing. It's completely different. I could literally babble on why it's different, but that's a whole different video. So just go ahead and do that. And I've selected this rainbow hue here. Now this rainbow hue I have selected, I did not make it. It comes with Photoshop, guys. So if you don't see it in your color swatch here listed, it should be. It's usually on the top here. If not, just click load and load your presets and it will be there. I promise you. I'm not lying. I swear it's there. And then I set that to 45-degree angle. But if you'd like to go with a different angle, you may. Your choice. And then linear is your style. And then I set that layer to color. And bada boom! Look at that, guys. It's so awesome. It just brings out everything in this photo. This just makes the photo what it is. So, yes, this is the lovely effect, rainbow smoke effect. I guess you could use other colors in your gradient if you really wanted to. I just happen to think the rainbow really makes it look nice, and you just have those whole spectrum of colors. But if you wanted to pick a whole different spectrum, I guess you could. You could try it out, you know. No harm in that, right? So now you'll see why that the black background really works nicely. Because that way the gradient is there and all that stuff. So if you were to use a lighter background color for your photo, this wouldn't be as bright and ominous and cool. So that's why we chose black for a colored background in our photo. But yeah, that's the tutorial. I thank you all for watching, subscribing if you do, and commenting if you did, and liking this if you also did. If you haven't done any of those three, you might want to try. It doesn't hurt. It's pretty painless. And I do like people that like my videos. I do like subscribers. And if you have any comments, suggestions, anything you want to see on this channel, hit me up in the comments below. I reply in a timely fashion, guys. Believe me, I never ignore you. I might be late sometimes, like a couple of days late in replying, but I at least reply. Alright? Okay. And if you're feeling shy, which I don't think you would be, but if you are, you can inbox me too. I don't mind. I do reply there as well. And hit me up on all my social media, links below. And that's this week's video. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!